All right, everyone, we're back for another 2,000 point battle report. We're going back to a match play mission. Just the lists we had made up were both when we created them intended for that, but we are definitely planning on doing some more open play and actually playing through some crusade missions. Not necessarily doing a crusade, but just playing the scenarios. They look very fun. Where we will be getting into a campaign. Hopefully in February. We won't actually start anything like that till then, but let's take a look at my list here. It's 2,000 points of Tyranids. As I mentioned in, I think it was the last video, I am playing single Hive Fleet. I know in this list, Chronos Patrol Detachment, that's what I'm trying to say, would have been very effective, but I went for, I'm just trying out something fun here. I'm just going to see how it plays out. So it's a variation on the Behemoth list I brought last time, and like I said, the Hive Guard were in there, and I pulled them out. So let's take a look at my HQ slot. So in my HQ section, I got Swarmlord. I brought a Murder Tyrant with the Sights of Tyran, wings, adrenal glands, toxin sacs, murderous size, and for powers he has Unstoppable Hunger and Catalyst. Then we have my Malanthrope. My Swarmlord's powers are Onslaught and Unstoppable Hunger. I kind of just doubled down with that. Very nice with the Tyrant being reduced in points with the update. So very happy about that, so I had to bring him in. Into my troops choice, I have 3 warriors kitted out as you see. Death Spitters, Silent Talons, and a Barb Strangler, just because I thought why not, and I had 5 points to spare. Or sorry, 10 points to spare. I didn't have enough. I needed 5 more for the Venom Cannon is what I'm getting at. 3 Ripper Swarms. This unit of warriors is, I'm bringing a melee blob again, so they actually are kitted out with Scything Talons, Toxin Sacs, and Rending Claws. So I brought the melee unit again. There's 9 of them. Enhanced resistance, so I paid 1 CP for the additional adaptive physiology. That's what I'm saying. Then to fill out the rest of the troop slot, I just brought lots of bodies, and then when Josh pulled his salamanders out, oh, flamers, as you will see shortly, but I have faith in the swarm. So 3 units of 10 Termagants. Into my fast attack slot, I have, I think, 15 gargoyles. Just I love move blocking and being a pesk with them. Also in the fast attack slot, the Dimachaeron. So if you've been paying attention to the channel, I got them painted up. I'm really hoping the rule that always happens in our games, that freshly painted models die first, will not come into play here. So we have a Haruspex Lictor in the elite slot. Also in fast attack 2, I brought 8 Raveners with Rending Claws and Scything Talons. I thought Rending Claws maybe will make them work. As you can see, I'm really trying to make these guys work. I know they're not worth their points, but it's just, again, I love the model. It's a lot of fun, and instead of bringing the Hive Guard to shoot, you know what, I just thought I'm going to try something a little different. Might not play it well, but we'll see how it goes. And then 3 Biovores. And that's 2,000 points of Tyranids.
All right, we got 2,000 points of Salamander Successor. The 2 successor tactics I've chosen are Bolter, Fusillade, and Hungry for Battle. So I can reroll hit rolls of 1 on ranged attacks with Bolter weapons. And then the other one is +1 on my charges and advance rolls. So I got in my HQ slot, I have the Captain and Terminator armor, Primaris Librarian, and a Lieutenant with Teeth of Terra. And then for the Agents of the Imperium, I have my Inquisitor, who is an Alpha class Psyker, and Order Xenos. My troop choices, I have 2 sets of Intercessors with the Auto-Bolt rifles, 5-man squad of TAC Marines, all bolt rifles, nothing fancy with them. I had to squeeze my points down because in my fast attack slot, Outriders went up by 5 points, so I have my Outriders and I also have my Scout Bikes. Into my elites, I have Centurion Assaults, and they're running Flamers and their missile launchers, so mortal wounds on the charge. My Aggressors with the Flamestorm Gauntlets, 5-man Terminator Squad, and my Dreadnought with his Las Cannon and Heavy Flamer. And then over here we have an all-black Predator, because it is in the middle of being painted, and my first magnetizing project. So we got the Predator with twin autocannons and the twin las cannons and the las cannons on the sponsons, and then my 3-man Eradicator Squad, who hopefully will be doing some work. All right, so that's 2,000 points of Salamanders.
So here's the table we're playing on. We are playing Priority Target from the GT 2020 mission pack with, of course, the updates from the FAQ. So we were obviously taking them into account. So there is 5 objectives on the table here. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh, I guess there. 3, 4. In terms of the terrain, it's only below there that we count for rune saves. It's just obscuring otherwise for these blocks, so not actually in the terrain. Same for this one here, it's only there, and then a objective there. Now in terms of how the terrain works, so what we've classified this, and also in our last game if you watch that, is the outline of the trees here is will grant area terrain, and same for this, the one on this side here as well, will grant the area terrain bonus, and shooting it through will give the cover. So what we're saying in the middle here is open with just the trees there for thematic effect, just so we can block out, because if you can go inside there, it's really obviously you could just hide and nothing could shoot you. Same for on this side. So we're just trying to make it look very thematic on the table. That's a big part of the game here as well. So in the middle, technically there is no area terrain, so because I know you can't move those into terrain when we adjust them. Obviously the middle one won't be moved, but just on a whole for placing the objectives. So we're going to find out who's getting what side in this Warhammer 40k battle report. So let's roll off here now. A 4 for the Tyranids and a 5. So we'll come back after we have deployed and moved the objectives. Here we are. So Salamanders won the roll-off. They went over on that side into the castle, which, you know what, feels thematic. I'm glad about that choice. Feels very cool, like the Tyranids have overwhelmed this outside here, and the Salamanders are defending what remains of the city there. So this objective was shimmied over this way by the Salamanders. I pulled my objective back this way, so I'm holding it inside there. We're just counting this as vertical. I know it looks kind of janky here, but like we just want this to count as obscuring, so like I raised it up so it's 5 inches. Over this way, Salamanders pulled this objective back. Whew, it's going to be a tough one. So like you're supposed to secretly note your priority objectives. I'm pretty sure that's his. That's obviously going to be mine. So over this way, and then this objective was the first one I moved. I pulled it out, so I forced him to come over this way into the middle. So talking about the deployment itself now, we have the bikes, Librarian, Combat Squad, Attack Squad, Aggressor supporting them, Lieutenant, Dreadnought, Captain sitting behind the Dreadnought, Intercessors, Outriders, the Predator, I'm missing someone, oh yes, the Eradicators, and I think that's everyone. I'm not missing anyone. Nope. Then the Terminators are teleporting down along with the Centurions outflank, or strategic reserving, technically is the name. So he is down to 10 command points on his end. I have my Lictor hiding, waiting to pop out, and my Rippers obviously are just going to come tunneling about, hopefully find somewhere nice to hide. Then on my side of the table, we got 10 Termagants over here. Really went all out with the bodies to negate anything coming in behind me to ruin my day. Then we have Swarmlord. The Dimachaeron actually is just like, I was worried that like our terrain, when I was building him, I was like, oh no, he's not going to be able to hide anywhere because he's 18 wounds. But all the terrain here is enough to hide him. However, though, if he pokes his head around anywhere, he is getting targeted. Murder Tyrant chilling beside him. 15 gargoyles blobbed right there. Malanthrope giving his buffs around. Warriors, Warriors back this way. Termagants holding that objective. Haruspex, melee warriors right beside the Haruspex. 10 more Termagants with the Raveners on this side. Oh, come on, guys. We're going to hope they do some good. So big changes here, everyone. Winner of this roll goes first, so no more. Do I go first? Do I go second? So I really like this change. It's actually changed up. I felt it affected my decision when deploying as well. Couldn't count on anything. So here we go. A 1. Oh, man. I can't get first turn in my life dependent on it. I'm cursed. Anyway, we'll come back after turn 1. So Salamanders have turn 1 as you've seen, and there's one thing I am forgetting, and it is secondary objectives. So priority target, I did say that we were both using that. So we both have priority. I have Scramblers engaged, so pretty standard for Tyranids, especially a list like this. Thin the ranks and pierce the veil on the Salamander side with priority target. So we'll come back after turn 1 movement. Right, the movement done for the Salamander. So taking the aggressive stance here, I like it. So it's going to be fun. That way I don't have to worry about running to him. But now I just got to worry about living. So the intercessors have come over with the Dreadnought. Aggressors have come over living up to their name, being aggressive. With the Scout Bikes shooting out, there's going to be a showdown between the Raveners and the Scout Bikes. Very excited for that. Attack squad holding back here with the little Librarian touching the terrain there, looking through the window, ready to dish some smites afoot. And these guys here stayed still. They're not in range of anything, but they're waiting for the counterpunch. Predator moved over. I'm just going to hammer my Haruspex, unfortunately. And everyone else just shifted around, kind of waiting to have the Tyranids come to them. So fairly protected, but potentially some units to get hit here in the Psychic and shooting. So we'll come back and see how it looks, see if the damage can be. All right, that ends turn 1 Psychic and shooting. So Psychic phase was an absolute bust, but my Haruspex gutted by the combined fire of the Dreadnought and the Land Raider. So in total, 10 wounds from this guy. 10 wounds. And then another like 30 from that guy. And then I rolled a 6 for him to blow up. It literally rolled, it landed here. I should have recorded that. And then just went boop, to a 6. So 3 more wounds, killed the warrior, and then killed 3 gaunts. So really hurt there. But on a whole, I mean, it could have been way worse. I withered quite a bit this turn. Only and 2 wounds on a Ravener. I thought 1 died. But some charges to come up. We have the bikes likely going at them. But we'll come back and see how it looks. Right, that ends the fight. So he was hoping to stall me, and honestly, it was a good plan. You might be looking, thinking like, oh, that was free movement for the Tyranids because I killed them and overran. However, I killed them down to the last wound. So it was very, very statistically, one guy should have lived and held the Raveners up, but it was a gamble. But we were talking, and he was saying he'll take that over the sad space that was once the Haruspex. So scoring 3 points for his priority target at the end of the turn over this way with the old Troop Boys in there. And getting some points for thin the ranks, but we'll total that up at the end of the turn because I'm going to have a lot of stuff die to the Salamanders, but we'll come back after Tyranids. Turn 1 movement. That ends Tyranids movement on turn 1. So these Termagants moved out. I am in the neutral zone. A Scrambler thrown there. Do not want to forget that, like the last game, which was embarrassing. These guys obviously staying still. Warriors moving so I can shoot a Barbed Strangler just because. Biovores move because they are there to move block. That's the name of the game. Malanthrope shifted a bit. He's just making it so nothing can come into the middle. And even having Swarmlord move forward there, even if the Terminators come into the middle, they will not be able to charge anything because of the 2 additional inches from the trees. So keeping me nice and protected. These guys spread out to protect me on this flank from things walking about. And then over here, my plan with the Gargoyles is to jump over, take the brunt of the Overwatch, because mortal wounds are awful. And then the Warriors will come in and hopefully do their thing. Over this way, Raveners move around. I was going to send them at the aggressors, but I'm pretty confident these Raveners should be able to put some hurt on these guys. And if I kill them, that is 8 points denied. Potentially, because then I'll have to kill all the Raveners, and there's a lot of other threats that he's going to have to deal with, which I'm okay with. And then over this way, the Dima is ready to leap about with the Swarmlord slingshotting it. Tyrant, I think, is just going to go in and have to fight those guys. The plan with the Dima is to leap up to here, and then since he ignores distance and leaps over stuff, he'll be able to just hop calmly beside the Predator, and yeah, that's that. So we'll come back after Psychic. If you saw the tree sitting there, it can fit there. It's just really annoying. So we'll come back after Psychic, and my Biovores and my Warrior shooting phase and Psychic phase are all done. So I got Onslaught off on the Dima, so he got a little bit extra movement. So we pulled those things down. They are scalable, and things can go on top of them, or not scale. I don't know what the thing is called, but where the Dima can land up there, or he could have landed there. Either way, it doesn't make a difference because he's going to leap over. We put him there because it looks really cool, and it's supposed to be up higher, but it's really risky for that. So we're just setting him there because he's going to come through and hopefully do what I want him to do. We'll see. Murder Tyrant's there hanging out. Get ready to charge in. Over this way, Spore Mines land. I shot at these guys. I hit 2 of them with the Biovores. but all I needed was one to come down and prevent him from doing his heroically intervening to come and help them out after the gargoyles come in this way, and then hopefully the warriors make a good charge in there. And then I double tap with the warriors, or sorry, Biovores, to prevent him from getting to that objective next turn. So that's it for moving, or sorry, moving. I guess it didn't move, but that's it for shooting and psychic. We'll come back after the charge phase and fighting and see what it looks like. So big round here. So make or break. That ends the Tyranid's turn. It's a very, very devastating turn. Feel very good, but had to make some tough choices. So the Dima came in. He made enough. He multi-charged the bikes and the Predator, and he ended up taking them out and fought again, killed the Predator, started with the bikes because I didn't want them to attack me. I just want to stay alive. Took out the Predator next. I debated on staying here to deny him that objective or leaping away at the Dima, but then the final deciding point was these guys getting their extra damage. So the Dima scurried away. The Tyrant annihilated 6 guys. The tail attack actually killing one, putting him out of engagement range, but the Tyrant just kind of sitting there. So yeah, still feeling incredible on this side of the table. You're probably thinking, oh, poor Salamander's not looking good. Some fortune shined down upon the Salamanders on this side of the table as my gargoyles killed all but 3 of them. Made the charge with them, then failed the charge with the warriors. So I've got some Flamestorm Salamander aggressors sitting in front of the Tyranids. So all hope is not lost as this side of the table remains strong. As this section here could very well turn the tide. Then over this way, the Raveners killed off all but 1 guy. So close. However, we've had some requests to include some important dice rolls on camera. So we're putting Josh on the spot. He's going to roll morale for that guy and also these guys, but we're going to start with this one because if this guy runs, I deny him that primary and potentially that priority objective. So, it's a 6, but he's a Space Marine. He knows no fear. Potentially, no, he's gone. So he's out of here. Did you want to spend the 2 CP to auto pass him? You are lower on CP.
Do I get to choose CP? Like after I've
What's that?
rolled?
No, I would allow you to do it. We kind of dove into it. We were excited to capture this on camera. It's up to you. I will honor that. He's going to honor it. He is low on CP, but he wants to keep him though. So to be fair, he needs a lot of CP because he's going to just murder a lot of the other side of the table. Then these lads right here. So they lost 6. There we are. So Tyranids coming in hot. This turn scoring 3 for my priority. And also getting engaged on all fronts max for this turn as well. I think we'll have to take a look at the board here. Potentially not quite. I think only 2 points. My Hive Tyrant not quite far enough. Even if I did consolidate, I wouldn't have been close enough. So that's right. We did check that. So 2 points for engage. So won't be maxing that out. But getting on the board nonetheless. So we'll come back after Salamander's turn 2 and see. They're going to retaliate and hopefully enough to kill off these monsters. All right, thus ends the turn for Salamander. So things are looking a little bit better. It's definitely feeling on the up and up as the Terminator is teleported in, hopefully to deal with this Murder Tyrant and the Dimachaeron threat. The Eradicators had to come down to get into extra damage range. It's either that or let me sit around and feel just fine and dandy over there. Over this way, the Force advanced ahead to coming at these warriors. So really unfortunate I didn't make the charge. Very fortunate for the Salamanders as they're able to probably reclaim that side of the table. And then over here, the Centurions came on with an engagement range. So it's not good. But we've been saying all this game, there's a chance. You're telling me there's a chance. So we'll come back after shooting and psychic. All right, so that ends Salamander shooting. So pretty good. Really, it's going to come down to his charges here now. So Demo dropped down to 10. Withstood a bit of firepower. Tyrant sitting still at 4, so making a bunch of inballs against the Eradicator. So over here, though, Salamanders showing their prowess with the flamer weapons, killing all but 2 of those guys. Even with the enhanced resistance, it was not enough to withstand the sheer volume of wounds over that way. 1 Ravener fell to a flame shot from the Dreadnought, and then actually the Dreadnought couldn't have shot them because they're in combat technically with them. So I'll have 1 Ravener back. Regardless, though, those Centurions don't care about that. They'll mow them down, maybe. So in a request from one of our wonderful viewers. They've asked to see more important roles on camera. So biggest one here, if these guys make it against the Tyrant, it's going to be very well for the Salamanders. If not, it's going to keep me in the game quite comfortably. Really, this role is going to determine who is going to have the uphill battle for the rest of the match. So, big roll.
9 inches. This is what I need.
On camera. 12. Look at that, because it's on camera. So, yes. That is that. So, we'll come back after the rest of it. That was the big roll. But now, can they take him out? Actually, one other big thing, too, I'll mention before we go and give you a little suspense. So, these guys are fighting here. I can interrupt, which can mess with some of the shenanigans around. So he's going to have to carefully decide who's going to get hit by what. All right, that ends Salamanders turn 2. So Salamanders likely, I think, are going to take this game because I made a tactical error with the Swarmlord. I should have put him closer to that objective. But in good news, they charged killed the Carnifex quite easily. Carnifex. Hive Tyrant. I used my Death Frenzy and I killed 4 of them. So that's something. Then I spent 2 CP. I probably shouldn't have done it to fight over here. I was really banking on killing 2 Centurions. I killed 1, and then they just diced them up. So that is that. And over this way, my Lone Warrior got charged by them, got killed, and then these gaunts are tied up. Didn't do anything though, but they are there. So that's it for Salamander's turn 2, scoring 3 for priority, so 6 total. Nothing for Pierce the Veil yet, but tons of points for Thin the Ranks. We were keeping track, but at this rate, we'll have to count them at the end. So that's it. We'll come back after Tyranids turn 2 movement. All right, so that's the end of Tyranids movement. So we're talking. I think the Salamanders have it in the bag here. We're going to play it out, though. There is always a chance, but Salamanders have done very well, performed very good in the early start of the game, so they made it this an uphill battle, which is very exciting to see as the list has evolved over all of our battle reports. So we'll give you the story so far, and we'll see if luck can come back to my side for a bit here. So these guys moved away just to stay over this way. I don't want to give them any extra movement because I'm very confident they would kill my poor little gaunts in an instant. So the game plan and what has to happen, my Biowars have to, and I mean have to, miss with at least 2 shots there. Keep these guys alive, so very tight. Over this way, these gaunts grab this objective. I did score 5 for my primaries. Swarmlord came over this way. Dima leaped across. Poor little arm broke off. I was too excited to move him. And then over this way, hopefully I'm going to get something in there. But my Rippers came up to get me my engage points on the rise. And Lictor's hanging out here. Scramblers deployed in his zone. So I do still have Scramblers going for me. I might be able to deny Zapor. But I'm pretty confident they got it. But I'm going to give you a show here. I'm going to do my best. So we'll come back after Psychic and Chew. All right, so I'm trying for the Tyranid fans out there. I'm trying. So over this way, Swarmlord got Onslaught off, so he moved up quite fast over this way. So I'm debating what to do with him. The Malanthrope's going for a long haul charge in there. I double tapped with the Biowars. Oh, I'm very unfortunate. I moved them, and I got 2 hits, of course, against these guys. I needed to get 3 more mines down to completely block him from affecting this objective, thus giving me my priority for sure for at least 2 more turns and that objective. Yeah, so I had to get these guys blocked in, so I had to double tap, spend all my CP. So it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. So the Malanthrope's going for a long haul charge here. So we're gonna do it on camera. He said he'd do it on camera. When I roll on camera, let's see. It's a Behemoth though. Rolling left-handed. 4. Not what I needed, but I do re-roll because I'm Behemoth. Come on, lad. Oh, 5. Terrible. No good, no good. Then over this way, I mean, everyone's making their charge here, so we'll just come back and see what damage I can do. All right, so combats have ended. So a little bit of luck here. Like I said, I'm putting on a show for the Tyranid fans here. Dima came over. Swarmlord went in with these Inquisitor and the former Eradicator. So I used Swarmlord to attack the Eradicators first, dropping them down to 1 guy with 1 wound. After his tail attack, dropped a guy down to a wound, which was huge. Then the Dimachaeron put all the attacks into the Inquisitor. I was banking on the Thorax thing grabbing up the dude. the Eradicator, and it did. So he now has his Feel No Pain of 5-up plus his 5-up invul. So I'm not out of it yet, but it's still, like I said, a very uphill battle. So we'll see what happens, though. One correction to what we put it on camera that he was going to charge. He advanced, so we did that just for your own excitement. So even though he failed, and he would have got put back there anyway. So that's it. Sitting at 17-11 for the Tyranids as of right now. But Salamanders, like I said, still in good position. Uphill battle, but we won't quit. We'll do our best. That ends Salamander's movement. So the Dreadnought and the Captain, who was hiding in the bushes there, you probably forgot about him. I didn't. He came out, and these guys moved in, grabbing that objective. The aggressors moved this way. He wants to keep the Librarian protected, and potentially if the Dima and the Swarmlord are surviving over here, the Dima can leap over. And if I stop those aggressors and halt these guys at all, that's really going to keep me kind of in a good position. Like, the score is pretty even right now, but the Salamanders, once they get past over there and clear that priority objective, that's what they call bad news bears for me, and we'll see what happens. So a big roll coming here. The Librarian is going to try piercing the veil. With a 7, so that will become a 6 thanks to my Malanthrope's shot in the warp, and I have my deny for my Swarmlord. Let's go. Got it. Not today, but he still has a chance to get it though. Still, a couple more turns for that. 2 more turns. So come back after the shooting. All right, so shooting is done. Swarmlord dropped down to 10 wounds, so staying strong. But now some charges are coming in. That old Dreadnought, my old nemesis. Then over this way, 2 Spores Mines were killed off, and the Gaunts were killed down to a man on the dot. Now, he couldn't even have one stay alive, but that's all right. They'd be on a synapse, and he'd probably run anyway. Anywho, and the Malanthrope just got cooked up by these rotten guys. I don't like them. So we'll come back after some fights that are going to go down right here and see what happens. So that's the end of the combat. Over here, oh my goodness, what a whirlwind. The Swarmlord is alive with 9 wounds. The Dim is alive with 1. The Dreadnought was killed by the Dimachaeron, blowing up, dropping the Dima down to 1 wound. The Dreadnought dropped it down to 2. Then this little Terminator withstood the Dima trying to grab it. Swarmlord diced up the Captain with a command reroll trying to save him. So we have ourselves a game. This is actually getting very interesting. Still, though, lots of firepower alive over here. These guys are coming in. If this stronghold on my side of the table gets taken, it's a lot of victory points up for grabs. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 3 movement. Right, so the Dima stands. The Terminator failed to kill it. Then the Dima diced him up. Over this way, the Swarmlord slung-shot him over. I guess this is the end of Tyranids turn 4. We kind of just skipped through because everything happened so fast. I decided to hunt down the Librarian. Got him. I got aggressor staring at me. Swarmlord sacrificed his life here for the Hive Mind. These guys charge in, are holding them up, and that's pretty much the story. Not true. Over this way, the Rippers moved in advance. Being troops choices, they have stolen the priority objective from the Salamanders, gaining me 5 points there. Completed my last scramblers with these guys here, completing that objective, and scoring 5 for the priority, and 15 for max points. However, with the new FAQs, everyone, I don't know if you are aware or not, you more than likely are, there's still a chance to grab extra points later in the game. I guess, actually, that's more so for me. But keeping that in mind, so how the Salamanders play, we'll have to keep that in mind when it comes to the last turn. So we'll move into Salamanders turn 4 and see if the Flamestorm Gauntlets will save the day. As we get later into the game, this is Salamander's turn 4, just about at the end of it. A couple more things happen. The combat needs to continue here, but the aggressors have charged Swarmlord in a last-ditch attempt to get rid of him. He's been a menace, an absolute terrifying menace on the table. His wounds right now are at 2. We've rolled up a bunch of wounds. He's done his attacks. He had 4 wounds go through. I rolled my 3 saves. Failed one of them, thus dropping him to 2. And that is after all the shooting as well. So I have one more save to do, and we're going to do it on camera because this is a big one. If the Swarmlord lives, dices up some of them, that's it. The Salamander's chances are zilch, I think. This game has been fantastic. Probably one of our best we've had on the channel. Very exciting. So here we go on camera. I don't want to do this, but... Oh!
Oh,
there you go, folks.
Lives.
There you go, folks. Whoever told me to film these moments, why? Oh, you're a Tyranid player too, I think. You traded me. All right, but does he blow up though? Come on, I moved over here by the Glands. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
What is it?
I can't remember what it is. D3 mortal wounds. So I'm gonna roll back with the Glands. I'm gonna kill it.
For sure.
Oh, two of them. Okay, I'll take it. Oh, there you go, folks. Moments caught on camera. Ones I didn't want on camera. I'd rather just come back and say Swarmlord died. But thus, Swarmlord is removed from the table and gaining another point for while we stay thin the ranks. That is it for the poor Swarmlord. So you're just catching some morale rolls. That ends the Salamander's turn. So Dimachaeron was taken down. Thanks to some nice shooting by these lads in the middle. Swarmlord's gone, as you just witnessed. In here, another warrior drops, but I've held them up, which is all I need to do. Keep them tied up, and then I just have little Griblies left. Not a lot left on the table for me, but lots of time to still rack up a few more points, and I got a Lictor here that's going to come out and keep me going points-wise in this match. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 4, get a look at everything, and we'll give you an update on the total points. Folks, that is the end of Tyranids turn 4. Very quick turn. My Lictor just came up. He's going to try and grab this objective at the end of the game. Shot at these guys with my Biowars, hoping to miss. Of course, hit with both. But got one there, and I think that should do its job. Over this way, the combat continues. Warriors staying alive, killing off another intercessor. So holding my priority objective, and that is pretty much it. So we'll come back at the end of turn 5. All right, folks, that ends the game. So the Salamanders just finished up their last turn. Literally all I would do in my turn is slide the Lictor up. So one last moment of victory. The Lictor got shot at by these guys. They killed him. I had 1 CP left. I did the reroll, made the 1 save to keep him alive, getting me that objective. But there's not a whole lot else I could really do in this turn, because where do you score objectives now at the end by holding them? I mean, these guys could come over and shoot them. It doesn't really matter at this point. That's really it. So end score. We'll come back. We'll total them up. We gotta do like the thin the ranks and the other stuff. Then we'll talk about the game. All right, so that ends the game. Final score: 71 for the Tyranids to 48 for the Salamanders. So we were talking about it. I firmly believe that the Salamanders had it early on, but it was not for the Swarmlord. Swarmlord and the Dimachaeron over here kept the game going, kept it tight for us. And we're actually looking at it, or discussing as well, the Rippers sneaking in there, being in true choice and snagging that objective. That actually yielded 15 points for the Tyranids for our turn. Well, I guess it technically yielded because it denied him a primary there and denied him hold 2, and I think also hold more at that time, if I'm remembering correct. So on a whole, very good game. Probably one of the best we've had on the channel to date. Very tight. There was no telling who was going to win the game. Like I said, I was convinced it was over for the Tyranids, and I was here just to put on a good show with my Dimachaeron, who performed very well. Really unfortunate the Warriors didn't do their part. I would say, who is your MVP?
The aggressors.
The aggressors. Like, there was nothing I could do to touch them at all. They were untouchable, because he made sure throughout the game as well that he had at least 2 CP to ensure that if anything came near them, they were getting roasted. So very well played on that part. MVP for me, definitely a shared one between the Dimachaeron and the Swarmlord. So very solid combo there in a Behemoth list. Very happy with how he performed for his first match. It was a great game overall. We're actually going to try out... Actually, we'll leave it up to everyone watching. If you're here at the end of the video, thanks for watching. But also, Comment below if you want to see a fun tactical objective game. We're going to bring that back just for some hilarity and also just to make things a little bit more random and that sort. Or if you want to see a open play game, potentially might, like I said, try and play one from the Crusade. Or if you're really enjoying these match play games, let us know. I think I might break out the Ultramarines, or if there's a particular Tyranid build you're curious about, let me know. But thanks for watching.